Hey guys. One of the things that a lot of us struggle with is telling people when we can't be there for them, particularly when they are used to depending on us. This can be intimidating in our personal lives, but it can feel even harder to deal with when we need to take time off from a professional environment. Probably because in addition to letting someone down, there's the possibility that we're putting our livelihood at risk. Or so we think. I want to challenge that belief, of course, as just a fear. One of the marks of being a not so average dreamer is having the willingness to speak up for yourself. You have to. Whether you're a creator or an entrepreneur, you're in charge of your schedule. You decide when you can be available, and you have to be able to communicate that to people. In today's episode, I talk about the practice of booking out. That's where we actors tell our agents and our managers when we can't be available for auditions or work. I share with you how I let my reps know when I'm not going to be available, and I let you know how they react. Now, while booking out is specific to actors, the need to communicate honestly and clearly with our colleagues is something that we all have to do. So I hope you enjoy it. Oh, yes. And I've included at the end of this episode a scene from one of the films that I acted in here in Hollywood. I hope you enjoy that too. Hey guys, it's Shon. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hi, welcome to my podcast. It's Not So Average with Shon Wilson, where I give you my take on, everything. I'm doing this just for fun, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Today I talk about why it's best for everyone involved when you tell people what you need, even in a work environment. Okay, so I should probably be looking at you when I start talking, right? I had this thing going on with the fan. Anyway, okay, so for anyone who is joining my podcast for the first time today, my name is Shon Wilson. I am a professional actress in Los Angeles. I like to answer questions by talking about, myself. I mean, that's what we actors do, right? No, not all the time. But because this is my podcast, that is what I'm going to be doing. This is, the question that I'm going to answer today is about booking out. And the person who asked the question wanted to know whether or not it was okay to book out for surgery. Are you kidding me? That's literally my answer. If I knew this person, if this was solicited advice, if they had asked me this to my face, I'd be like, you joking, right? I mean, because come on, why wouldn't you? The other option is what? That you don't tell them that you're having surgery, you don't book out, and then by some off chance, because it is an off chance, you get an opportunity that comes up that day, and they don't know why you're not answering their calls or their emails. And so now you have made things difficult between you and that agent. You seem unreliable. They don't like you. The reason why the person is asking this question is because of that. They are afraid of doing something that will make their agent not like them. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, I have found that my agents have liked me more when I communicate with them than when I don't. Even if sometimes they don't respond to my communications, because agents, particularly those here in Los Angeles, can get super busy. And as I've mentioned, or maybe I haven't mentioned it to you guys before, but agents have hundreds of clients, particularly if they're SAG franchised agents or super legitimate, reputable agents. They have to have hundreds of clients to keep their license and bonded status. So there are times when, as an artist, you will send a communication to the agent and not hear back from them. That doesn't mean you stop communicating. Some actors take this personally, get our feelings hurt, and then so we just stop telling them things. But there's going to be that off chance, right? There's going to be that one time where you haven't told them what they need to know. And having surgery is one of those times that you need to make sure you communicate with them. My agents have always appreciated the communication. When they don't respond, I don't take it personally. And then sometimes they do respond. And you know what they always say? Thanks for letting us know, Shon. Oh, cool. Thanks, Shon. Oh, great. Thanks, Shon. You need to let them know what's going on with you, especially if it means an adjustment to your availability to work. The other option for that person asking the question is what? You just don't do the surgery so that you don't have to book out? I mean, That's such a ridiculous scenario. I feel like I don't even need to address that. Or maybe I do, because maybe there are other people out there that are confused. So let me tell you my thoughts on being an actor. My thoughts on being an artist, my thoughts on being a person who sometimes has to be there for other people. So when you're an actor in Los Angeles, because opportunities can feel far and few between, and sometimes they are few and far between, it gets really easy to get tied up in this idea of I have to be available, I have to be present all the time. There's a fear that can become part of your Los Angeles experience, right? Where we almost deify or idolize the industry professionals that we have relationships with or want to develop relationships with. And we give the acting such a place of importance in our life that it seems to supersede everything else. I have been guilty of this myself, you guys. And what happens then is you get an imbalance. I got an imbalance. The acting just mattered too much. And what it should never matter more than is your health, your physical well-being. So if you need a surgery, you're definitely going to take the surgery. You're going to do the surgery. And then, if you have an agent that gets mad at you for booking out for that, go ahead and start looking for new agent representation. But I can almost guarantee there is not an agent on the planet that is going to be upset with someone for booking out because they have a surgery. In fact, what I've personally found in my own experiences, my agents have never questioned my reasons for booking out, period. It doesn't matter how trivial the reason may seem or has the potential to seem. They've never once questioned it or berated me for it. Not the agents I have now, not the agents that came before them or the ones that came before that, because I have had several since coming to LA. And even the agency that I was with in Charlotte never question it. They just say, okay, thanks, Shon. It's okay to not be available. Let me say that again. It's okay to not be available. It's okay to have your own life. It's okay to have other things in your life that actually come before the acting. Or if you're some other kind of an artist, come before the art. So I'm going to give you some examples of times that I've had to book out. One of them was today. So the reason why I am a little bit more done up than usual is because I was asked to present for career day at my college. My high school. My high school, not my college. So my high school is in Richmond, Virginia. For those who don't know, I went to what was at the time an all-girls Episcopal high school. I was there as a boarding student. They no longer have a boarding component. And this is the weekend of one of my anniversaries. I shall not tell you which. And I have been asked before to present. Now, my high school is in Richmond, Virginia, and I live in Los Angeles, California, and that is not an easy trek to make in the best of scenarios, from the West Coast to the East Coast. But to Richmond in particular, even though they call their airport Byrd International Airport, y'all, there is nothing international about it. The 2 times that I've flown into that airport, it was dead quiet in there. Now, and this was recent because I just did a show. If you haven't seen it yet, I am in Swagger. I'm in episode 7, season 1, episode 7. I had to remember for a second. I think it's episode 7. I'm pretty sure it's 7. Anyway, IMDb me. You'll find it. So both times I flew into Richmond and both times I flew out of Richmond, there was hardly anybody in that airport. Yet they call it Byrd International Airport. And one of the reasons is because there's not a whole lot of people who have a reason to fly into Richmond. And because there's not a whole lot of people who have a reason to fly into Richmond, guess what? The flights cost a ton of money. I mean, a shit ton of money. So when I was asked before, 5 years ago, a different reunion weekend, if I would present at my high school, I had to say no because I live in Los Angeles, and that was going to be an expensive trip. But this time when they asked me, it occurred to me to say, could I possibly do it over Zoom? And as you can imagine, they were like, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. And so that's what we arranged. And I got to present for my high school today. I did 3 sessions with 3 groups of girls. It is still an all-girls school. Unfortunately, they no longer have a boarding department, so it's all day students now, but I still have much love for it. Anybody who watches my podcast, if you're watching it on YouTube, you've seen this ring on my finger. That is my high school class ring. I wear this every day. Every day that I get dressed, I should say, because there are some days where I just keep on the pajamas all day. But any day that I get dressed, I put this on, particularly if I'm going out of the house. So let me rephrase that, okay? So not every day that I get dressed, but every day I get dressed and go out of the house, I put this ring on. It's not just for today being career day at the school. But I got to present for them today, and it occurred to me that I had not booked out with my agency. It just occurred to me, I think 2 days ago. I hope it wasn't yesterday. I think it was 2 days ago. Now, typically when I book out, I prefer to book out a week in advance, a week to the day that I'm going to be unavailable. And the reason why I choose a week is because it's a long enough time to help them manage any submissions that they're doing on my behalf. And yet it's not so long a time that they're going to forget about the fact that I've booked out. So I typically book out a week before the day that I'm going to be unavailable. I forgot this time. And the reason why I forgot is because I've been so focused lately on this content that I'm creating, including this wonderful podcast. If I haven't said it already today, thank you for watching and or listening. So I've been so wrapped up in my own little Shonness, I forgot. So 2 days ago, I shot my reps an email and I booked out and I let them know that I would be unavailable from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. today. And it was fine. No one got mad at me for telling them last minute. No one got mad at me and I even told them why, right? I let them know that I had been asked to present for career day for my high school. And I was like, are you kidding? You can't do auditions because you're doing career day for your high school? No, they don't care. They've got 299 plus other clients to get out for work on that day. So it's fine. We may feel like the center of the universe most of the time, particularly if we have an uneven, unbalanced relationship with our reps, but we are not the center of the universe, and we are definitely not the center of their universe. But I want to talk about that on another day. I want to talk about the weird dynamics that we actors can sometimes bring into these agent relationships, particularly if you have any kind of abandonment or attachment or neglect traumas in your background. I almost just said in your bathroom. Like what kind of neglect traumas are you gonna have in the bathroom? I mean, the only one I can think of, I don't even want to talk about that right now. I don't think those kinds of words should come out of a face that's made up like this today. Because I look like a lady and I should sound like one, but I guarantee the F word is going to come out before this podcast is over. Anyway, so I said in my email to them that I was going to be unavailable for the morning of April 22nd from 9 a.m. to 12:30 because I would be presenting for career day for my high school. And I didn't get in trouble, even though I told them, I think 48 hours in advance, maybe even a little less. It was fine. There have been times where once I booked out because of the fact that I had a surgery that I had to do. And it was no question. It never occurred to me not to book out. It never occurred to me to lie about why I was booking out. It is so weird to me that this question even came from this poster. Book out for surgery? Yes, dummy, yes. Book out. Anyway, there was a time that I booked out so many times. So I'm there's so many times when I've had to do it. Definitely I book out for the holidays. So the holidays are super, super important for booking out. No, even if you're someone who doesn't get out much by your reps, you definitely want to go ahead and book out during the holidays because you're going to be gone usually for a longer period of time. It's usually that you're not booking out for one day or for a few hours. It's usually that you're booking out for at least a week. And so even if you think you're not on their radar, just make sure you let them know that you're booking out because you're going to be gone for so long. And then also because a lot of production companies like to try to ram in projects at the end of the year. And so a lot of opportunities come up. In fact, I think I get the majority of my auditions not auditions. I get auditions throughout the year, but I get the majority of my bookings in November or December. Either that I get booked in November and work in December, or I sometimes have gotten booked in December for a December job. So the holidays are a super important time. And when I say holidays, I don't just mean the winter holidays. But if you're somebody who takes the Easter holiday seriously, if you happen to be Christian, or any other religious holiday where there's several days where you are going to be unavailable, just make sure you book out for those, so that you don't find yourself in a situation where you are at an angst over whether or not to take some audition or honor the tenets of your faith. Don't do that to yourself. There will always be other opportunities. I guarantee you, there will always be other opportunities. And if you happen to be an actor who right now is finding yourself without many opportunities, there might need to be a change in your marketing package, a change in your representation. It could be someone else's fault and not your fault that you're not getting those opportunities. But I'll talk about that another day too. So yes, always make sure you book out for your holidays. Also, by holidays, I mean, if your birthday is sacrosanct to you, if you're one of those people that likes to do a birthday week where you get to do all kinds of fun, like I'm gonna, what's it called? Treat yourself. If you're one of those treat yourself people and you do that on the week of your birthday, book out for that week. If it's that, you might have special plans for the night of your birthday or the full day of your birthday, book out for that. It's fine. It's okay. I have booked out. I'm trying to think of some less obvious, because to me, those are obvious reasons. But I am mentioning them because I know that some actors get very intimidated about the actor-agent interaction. And so I thought it was important to mention them. These very, in my opinion, obvious reasons for booking out. Trying to think. Oh, definitely. Now, here's a big one that is super important and should also be obvious. But if you book work, if you get an acting job, don't forget to book out for that day. Because again, you are not the center of your agent's universe. So even if that acting job came through them, they're the ones that, did the communications with the production company and let you know what day and time. Well, they're actually not going to be the ones to let you know what day and time to report to set. That comes from usually a first AD through a call sheet. But even if you think they should know that you're working, assume they do not, because they've got so many other things on their plate. And after they've negotiated your contract and gotten you the job, they're not thinking about you on that job at all anymore. Unless your name is like, I don't even want to do that. I hate when people aggrandize stars. Stars are wonderful. I love them. There are some that I aspire to work with, but I absolutely hate when people on YouTube point to some star as the end all be all of anything. So I'm not going to do that. Even though I immediately thought of a star who I definitely have high admiration for. So let me say it this way. Unless you're one of those mega stars that your agent feels they need to handhold all the time and show up to set and be there for you and with you while you are working, your agent is not thinking about the job that you have booked after the contract has been negotiated. So if you book work, make sure that you book out for that workday. And again, my suggestion is what I like to do is I do it a week in advance. So that's another reason why I book out. I want to give you at least one more that is not so obvious, but I am having a hard time thinking of one right. Hey, how about this? How about this, you guys? Put it in the comments. If there is some reason why you tend to book out for work that I haven't covered here, put it in the comments. Inspire others, or not really inspire, but support. The things that you write down, the things that you come up with, type into the comments, they may not have thought of. And it might let someone else go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. I should do that, So if you have an idea, if you have a specific reason or way that you like to handle booking out, please, if you are watching this on YouTube or any other place where you can leave comments, let us know. Maybe I've hit the mark on what I can cover today in terms of booking out. I hope this did not seem too derisive, because I know I had a little bit of Shon to it in that, and hopefully that does not discourage people from writing in with their questions, because every once in a while I get a direct question from somebody as opposed to this unsolicited advice. So if you do have a question that has to do with being a professional artist, whether it's an actor, a dancer, a writer, a singer, or even an entrepreneur, because as you know, I've got the entrepreneurial pursuits Actually, you may not know. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you don't know. So follow me on Instagram. It's Shon Wilson Official. Follow me on Facebook. It's Shon Wilson Official. Follow me on Twitter. It's The Real Shon Wilson. Actually, I don't even think there's a the. I think it's just Real Shon Wilson. But yes, ladies and gents, puppies and cats, everybody out there, if you have a question that you'd love me to answer about, being a professional in an uncommon way, as opposed to just working those more traditional jobs, hit me up and I will address it in an episode. In the meantime, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you again. Bye!
Aren't my theme songs fun? I found them at Purple Planet Music. You can find music for your projects there too. Just go to purple-planet.com.